Shakur Stevenson is a first-class fighter, and I don't think it's going to make any difference that he give his title up because of weight difference. He just go to the next division and win that title as well.
Shakur is stepping up because he got nobody else to go after. He's stepping up to try to prove a point. You know, his big bro, a.k.a. Terrence Bud Crawford, you know, put a huge upset and made a historical moment in time for the sport of boxing and changed it by beating Canelo Alvarez to become the undisputed super middleweight world champion. So I think that I think those things like that make Shakur want to step up the plate, step up to the challenge, and face Teofimo, who is I. So I'm going to show everyone that his defense is not as immaculable like
Mike Tyson, a figure who has experienced the extremes of human combat, was recently caught in an expression of sheer shock. This wasn't triggered by a championship knockout or a chaotic street fight. Instead, he was viewing leaked 2026 training clips of Shakur Stevenson, whose movements appeared nearly computer-generated in their speed. For weeks, Tyson has been hands-on with Teofimo Lopez, teaching him the relentless classic techniques of the peekaboo style to challenge and break down the rising talent.
This is how you do this, son. This is how the game works.
it is.
Now you take his mantle, the world's greatest fighter, probably of all times.
Yeah.
I beat the man who was the man that beat the man that beat the man.
Yeah.
So now I'm the man.
When was the first time that happened for you?
When I fought Larry Holmes.
Okay.
And Michael Spencer, I beat the man.
Yep.
They beat the man.
There you go.
Heck yeah.
And it's incredibly intimidating until you step in the ring.
You know, intimidation is really bad, but fear is beautiful. To have fear is beautiful. Intimidation just ruins your day, but the fear is just amazing.
If you know how to manage it.
When it's properly managed, yes, it's
Yeah,
just amazing.
I get it. You can feel like you're alive. You still alive. You know, you're not
Right.
not like you're not human.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think that's the whole part of it.
Ace never underestimate the power of fear.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
However, after witnessing the level of skill Shakur is displaying ahead of their January 31st clash at Madison Square Garden, Tyson may have faced a daunting revelation. The powerhouse he's been shaping for this matchup is about to step into a scenario he never anticipated. This fight has moved beyond strategy alone. It's a stark recognition that boxing has progressed into a form even Iron Mike hadn't imagined. The clips causing the buzz aren't just ordinary mitt work or easy sparring. They showcase intense reaction drills where Shakur seems to move on an entirely different rhythm than everyone around him. In the viral footage, Stevenson fires off 3-punch combos while dodging 2 counters in less than a second, a pace so unreal that some analysts have joked about frame rate manipulation, though gym witnesses insist it's genuine. This isn't the careful, defensive Shakur that some critics have griped about before. The Newark fighter has injected a ruthless offensive edge into his style, a ferocity Tyson has long hoped to see in the next generation. Watching that aggression coming from the very opponent his own student will face in a matter of days is what leaves Tyson stunned.
T.O. is probably the biggest opponent I fought, but I don't feel like size win fights. I don't care who you is. If we get in a physical little wrestling match or anything in there, you gonna feel me just as much as I feel you. So
To grasp why this is so shocking, you need to examine what's been happening inside Teofimo Lopez's camp. Tyson hasn't just been there for appearances. He's been fully involved, shaping Lopez into a tight, explosive force meant to erase space and force opponents into close quarters. The peekaboo approach relies on the principle that if you can't outmaneuver a slick fighter, you shrink the ring until they're forced into a battle up close. Tyson has been drilling Lopez on punishing head movement exercises, teaching him to slip and weave while delivering counter hooks with enough power to end a fight instantly. On paper, it was flawless, a legendary tactician equipping a young champion with the tools to dismantle a slippery opponent. But when that opponent proves he's transformed into a lethal threat as well, the whole strategy suddenly collapses.
To look over it, but a lot of people look at southpaws they're very difficult, but I grew up with southpaws since a kid. Kind of understand the rhythms of it. Don't get me wrong, he could be slick, but there's something I do to southpaws that It's working in my favor.
Shakur different, though.
It's all right.
Shakur's a special fighter. But
You got dropped, man. What you talking about?
You
got dropped.
Yes, Dad.
Even his little daughter said.
Hold on, get a props of Mike, man.
Dad, like, we need that fire.
Get a props of Mike, man.
Now,
No, don't stay quiet, Pops. Don't stay quiet.
now I understand why you still.
Don't stay quiet.
No, yeah. Tio like nah.
Freaking 4 seconds, man.
This is a special fight because of who we both of y'all are, but Shakur is a special fighter. You got to acknowledge that.
That's what we fighting.
There you go.
Yeah.
So he does agree that he's
But
special.
he does get hit.
But I mean, he got hit.
He's gonna crack him at least. He's gonna hit him.
He got hit a couple times against Cepeda, but he put himself in a position. Normally, he doesn't get hit like that.
A heated debate has emerged over Tyson's involvement in this saga. Just a few months back, Iron Mike was publicly hailing Shakur Stevenson as the future of boxing, calling him the best he'd ever seen after his masterful win over William Zapata. Now, he's coaching the very fighter meant to take Shakur down. Some insiders argue this is a calculated psychological play, suggesting Tyson is maneuvering both sides to maximize the drama at Madison Square Garden. Others interpret it differently, seeing a seasoned fighter who genuinely reveres the sport, torn between admiration for Shakur's brilliance and loyalty to the student he's training. Tyson has often said boxing can break your heart, and experiencing the rise of a talent like Shakur while actively preparing to dismantle him must be a uniquely conflicting mental state.
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I'm not going for either one. You know, I think both of them have a very great value of skill to when they meet. It's hard, man. It's really hard for me to sit more than another. And the crazy thing is, like, right now, a good friend of mine, Rel, he's working with Shakur right now, and it's like, you know, I know what Rel can do, and I've seen what Rel can do, so I know what his addition is going to be to that camp, which is going to be great. I'm not going for anybody in that fight, but it's just great. I even saw Tio train a couple times when I went out to Vegas. So, like, I've seen what he's capable of, especially like when he used to train with I don't know if he still does, when he trained with George Rubio. Like, I'm good friends with George, so it's like it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting.
I know that people, you know, they'll make their prediction based off what they think, based off their styles of fighting, but people have been really bringing up the word athleticism in this particular fight, right? Who's more athletic? Yeah. People say Tio is freakishly twitchy, but Shakur is such a competitor, and so he's answered back, like, what does that even mean? Like, what's more athletic? So seeing how they both train, I mean, is there, I don't want to compare Happy Pit, like, who's more athletic, but like that term, athleticism, is it warrant and fair for Tio to get the credit as athleticism? And is Shakur being, I guess, underrated on what he could be considered as athletic?
I think Tio is offensively explosive, and he definitely has the athleticism edge over Shakur. Now, I think Shakur's defense is high caliber, and his IQ is also high caliber. So it's a really good matchup, because it's kind of like Tio brings, he can either, depending how he fights Shakur, he can either make it a tough night or he can make it an easy night.
The story took another twist when rumors began circulating that Floyd "Money" Mayweather had been seen visiting Shakur's training camp.
Floyd, when you think about the fighters who are fighting now, can you give me your 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 when it comes to the lightweight? Who you would put where?
As of right now, the two guys, the biggest puncher, I feel at the 135 will probably be Gervonta Tank Davis. But the most skillful fighter at 135 will be hands down Shakur Stevenson.
What is it about him? Because I know you have a lot of good attributes, but do you think he has enough power to sustain?
Well, it's really all about skills. Pernell Whitaker wasn't a huge puncher, but he was, very exciting. very tough, and he fought everybody. Shakur is trying to do the same thing. He want to fight the best they got out there. I believe his contract is coming to an end, so hopefully we can come to...
If Tyson stepping into Lopez's camp was a warning shot, Mayweather showing up with Stevenson is a full-scale escalation. What was supposed to be a 140-pound title bout has transformed into a clash of legends behind the scenes. Tyson is drilling Lopez on how to dominate with sheer force, while Mayweather is reportedly passing on the signature moves and nuanced shoulder roll defenses that kept him untouchable for 20 years. It's a showdown of contrasting philosophies. The raw, fearsome aggression of the 1980s versus the precise, cerebral defensive mastery of the 2000s. Both camps are charged with a tension that only appears when a new era is about to emerge.
I look at Teofimo a lot like Yard when I say as far as like he's a front runner. I mean, the first couple rounds, Teofimo is hella dangerous. You know what I'm saying? He's explosive, but he struggles against boxers who can, you know, carry him the distance and give him angles and give him trouble, right? Which Shakur can do. But when I watched this, I think it was a beta fight. Shakur got hit clean. He been getting hit clean, but he just ate the joint. But he got hit clean. I'm looking at him like if I'm Teofimo, the reason I took that fight is because I say if I get in the same positions or I can get to those spots where I can hit Shakur clean, can Teofimo hurt Shakur with one shot? Can he hurt him clean? He hasn't been a killer, as much of a killer at 140. And after Cambosis, he hasn't been the same in my opinion. But he's still explosive and still dangerous in the first 7 rounds. You know what I'm saying? First 8 rounds. So I think it's a good fight. I like the fight actually because of that. Teofimo got the explosive punching power on his side and good athleticism, and Shakur has, you know, superior boxing IQ, good range, good distance. So it's great. It's good boxer versus good athlete at this point. So I like the fight. I don't say it's 50-50. I say it's 60-40 Shakur, but I like Teofimo's chances in this fight. You know what I'm saying? If Teofimo makes this a fight and comes out early and attacks and gets right up on Shakur, right? Attacks him and makes him fight. I mean, it's gonna be one of two things. Either you're gonna see what's his name, the Jesus, or what's his name, the guy that he fought. De La Santos. You're gonna see De La Santos Part 2, and he just gonna get on his bicycle, which we don't want to see, or he gonna have to fight. And and I think Teofimo is a guy that can make Shakur fight because he can cut off the ring well enough. You know what I'm saying? I think he can stay with him well enough where he can turn this into a fight, and it'll be exciting for him.
There's no way to ignore the now viral neck remark because it sits at the core of this rivalry. In leaked footage from inside Lopez's camp, Teofimo has been blunt ever since establishing himself at 140 pounds, openly stating that his goal isn't just to win, but to inflict damage and dominate opponents by keeping relentless pressure on them.
I'm excited to put my foot on everybody's neck. It feels great to come to this new division and have everyone call me out. You know, that basically shows that the king stays king.
Tyson's response was one of unmistakable, almost sinister excitement. He told Lopez that this is exactly what fans crave. They want to see the predator unleashed. That's the mindset Lopez is bringing to Madison Square Garden. He isn't aiming for a points victory. He wants to make an indelible mark on Shakur Stevenson's career. His goal is to become the first fighter to hand Stevenson a defeat, and to do it in a way that lingers. But after watching the latest footage of Shakur, it's easy to question whether Tyson now fears that the neck Lopez is chasing might simply be too quick to catch.
Stevenson's defense probably the best in the game, and he's longer. Great reflexes and timing, and so does Teo. That's why he's a great counterpuncher. But Teo's, he's a very special athlete, and as a competitor, he is one of those guys who saves his A game for a fellow elite opponent. That's when he really rises his game and shows us the Teofimo Lopez that everybody thought he was when he was a prospect. People used to look at him and say, oh, this guy is going to be the star in boxing. It didn't really play out that way, but every now and then he reminds us how special he is.
Teofimo is a two-division Ring Magazine champion. In both fights where he won the Ring Magazine championship, he was the underdog. 4-1 underdog against Lomachenko. People forget, Lomachenko was taking elite fighters in the lower divisions and they were quitting. Yes. He was beating them into some, they were like, I can't do this, right? And Teofimo beat him, right? He outboxed him.
Yeah, he didn't do it by physically imposing himself on him.
He outboxed him, he outfought him, he had speed, power, and then again, against Josh Taylor at junior welterweight, he was the underdog. So he saves his best for his big...
The strategic picture of this matchup is compelling. Stevenson's hallmark has always been his mastery of distance, moving with the precision of a watchmaker so that opponents often look like they're striking at air. If the new footage is accurate and he's added that aggressive finishing edge, he's no longer just a defensive enigma, he's dangerous from every angle. Meanwhile, under Tyson's instruction, Teofimo is becoming sharper and more efficient, prioritizing brutal effectiveness over trying to outmaneuver Stevenson. The opening rounds promise a lightning-fast game of cat and mouse. If Teofimo fails to land early, the relentless pressure of Tyson's foot-on-the-neck approach could push him to overcommit, leaving him vulnerable to one of Stevenson's precise counters.
Now, this New York-New Jersey beef rivalry, do you think that adds an extra layer to the storyline between you two come January 31st?
I mean, if we want to talk about it, like, Brooklyn took the New Jersey Nets and brought them to Brooklyn Nets, so we're already winning on that side. I'm just here to finish the work that they ain't finished.
I need to go back because everybody keeps saying that you're not from Brooklyn.
Yeah.
That's just a fake story. You're really from Florida or wherever you're
I'm from both. I'm
where's
grateful.
the birth certificate, the school picture? Where is it at?
I have them. My mother really has them. But yeah.
I think we need the proof,
I was
guys.
in.
We need to...
I was in. I think kindergarten. When the 9/11 situation happened, and they called it Code Red or Code Black, and they had us. Yeah, so I've been around the whole situation, but it's just that they say I'm not from Brooklyn because it's not like in the boxing root of it all. But that's fine. That's cool with me. I ain't here to be. I ain't here to be in a group. I'm here to do my part. And if you look at Madison Square Garden, it says Teofimo versus Shakur. It doesn't say Shakur versus Teofimo. So
As January 31st approaches, the media frenzy is only intensifying. Social feeds are flooded with headlines about Iron Mike warning his young protege, and every training clip is being scrutinized by millions. Beneath all the hype, though, there's a deeper human story unfolding among three men at very different points in their lives. Tyson, the legendary figure, aiming to pass on his knowledge; Teofimo, the ambitious champion chasing both redemption and a lasting legacy; and Shakur, the unbeaten phenom striving to cement himself as the pound-for-pound king of 2026. This fight isn't just about the WBO title or the payday. It's a battle over which vision of boxing will triumph. When the bell rings at Madison Square Garden, all the viral clips and online speculation will fade, replaced by the unflinching reality of the ring. Either Teofimo will execute the peekaboo strategy perfectly to dismantle Stevenson, or Shakur will prove that his evolution into a lethal finisher makes him the most formidable fighter on the planet. Boxing doesn't lie, and on fight night, the truth hits hard. Regardless of the outcome, this is a moment that will be remembered for decades. The board is set, the pieces are moving, and the king is about to face his greatest challenge. Prepare yourself. This is the kind of showdown that comes once in a generation.